They're not just leaving, they're leaving and not looking back. In today's video, Top 10 Cities Losing the Most Black People in the United States, we're diving into one of the most underreported, yet jaw-dropping, trends reshaping the American urban story. The Black Exodus is real, and it's rewriting the narrative of U.S. cities faster than rent hikes in a so-called, revitalized, neighborhood. Black communities aren't just relocating, they're redefining what home means. And no, this isn't just about chasing warm weather or cheaper groceries. From quiet gentrification to outright cultural erasure, these U.S. cities experiencing steep declines in black population are turning into case studies in what happens when race, economics, and systemic neglect collide. So which cities are losing black residents faster than a landlord can evict tenants before renovation? What's driving people away? And more importantly, where are they going? We're unpacking it all with facts, insight, and maybe a little side-eye at how things got this bad in the first place. Stick around to the end. The number 1 city on this list will definitely surprise you. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more us. Number 10. Gary, Indiana. Once a beacon of black middle-class success, Gary now feels like it's slowly vanishing. Back in the 1960s, Gary thrived with a strong black population supported by stable steel industry jobs. But since then? The city has lost over 60% of its total population, and a large share of that has been black residents. The steel mills shut down, jobs disappeared, schools closed, and today, entire neighborhoods are being reclaimed by nature. You ever seen trees growing through roofs and sidewalks? Welcome to present-day Gary. Between 2000 and 2020, the city's black population dropped from roughly 84,000 to just under 57,000. That's not just a decline, that's an exodus. And unlike other cities trying to reinvent themselves, Gary seems stuck in a loop of neglect and missed chances. But here's the truth. Most people aren't just running from Gary, they're running towards something better. Safer streets, stronger schools, and steady jobs. All things Gary can't promise anymore. So here's a thought. When a city once symbolized black upward mobility, but now serves as a warning sign, what does that say about the broken promises of American industry? Number 9. Atlanta, Georgia. Wait, Atlanta? The so-called Black Mecca. Yes, even Atlanta is seeing a major shift. While the metro area continues to grow, the city itself has quietly been losing black residents. In 2000, black people made up around 61% of Atlanta's population. By 2020, that number had dropped to just 47%. That's not a small change. That's a cultural shift in just 2 decades. Why? One word: gentrification. From luxury condos replacing historic homes to belt-lined trails reshaping neighborhoods, the cost of living in Atlanta has surged. Longtime residents are getting priced out, and the communities that once defined the city's cultural identity are now being repackaged for upscale living. And here's the kicker: most of those who left didn't move far. They're still in Georgia, just outside city limits in counties like DeKalb, Clayton, and Cobb. Atlanta didn't exactly lose them, it just pushed them out and added a longer commute. So when a city raises its skyline but erases its soul, is that really progress, or just dressed-up displacement? Number 8. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis isn't just losing black residents, it almost seems like it's making it easy to go. Between 2000 and 2020, over 27,000 black residents left the city. In 2022 alone, the number dipped again, from around 120,000 down to 113,000. And keep in mind, we're talking about the city proper, not the broader metro area. What's pushing folks out? Let's start with chronic disinvestment, high crime rates, and an education system barely treading water. Add in an economic divide so stark that the Del Mar Divide, the literal street, separates wealthy, white neighborhoods from struggling, black ones. It's a line you can trace on a map, and a legacy you can't ignore. Interestingly, nearby suburbs are absorbing those who leave. Places like Florissant and Ferguson, yes, that Ferguson, are now seeing rising black populations. but the city itself continues to hollow out. So here's a question. When your suburbs are thriving and your city is shrinking, is that urban growth, or just well-disguised displacement? Number 7. Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson has long been a majority black city, but even here, the numbers are slipping. Between 2010 and 2020, the city lost about 6,489 black residents, and the trend hasn't slowed since. The capital city of Mississippi is facing a trifecta of disasters: crumbling infrastructure, contaminated water systems. You remember that 2022 water crisis, and a government that can't seem to get it together. And we're not talking little things, we're talking basic survival. When your city's water isn't safe to drink and public services are falling apart, can you blame people for packing up? Here's what's even more troubling. Jackson isn't being rebuilt, it's being abandoned. The state government's recent attempts to take over parts of the city's administration haven't exactly inspired confidence either. Residents aren't just fleeing poverty, they're fleeing what feels like planned neglect. So ask yourself, what happens when a majority black city is left to fend for itself? Number 6. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Florida. This one might surprise you. South Florida is known for sunshine, palm trees, and a shrinking black population. Between 2010 and 2020, the region lost over 10,000 black residents. Why? Let's start with cost. Miami's housing market has gone from expensive to usurious levels. Gentrification is sweeping through places like Liberty City, Overtown, and Little Haiti like a hurricane with a real estate license. The result? Black families who've lived in the area for generations are being pushed out, priced out, and in some cases, bought out. They're relocating to cities like Orlando, Tampa, and even Jacksonville, places where rent won't devour your entire paycheck before payday. And if you're wondering whether this is just a coastal issue, think again. This is what urban migration looks like in the 21st century. Shiny condos rising while black history disappears, brick by brick. So the question is, how do you preserve culture in a city that values condos over communities? Number 5. New Orleans, Louisiana. If there's a city that knows what loss looks like, it's New Orleans. Before Hurricane Katrina in 2005, New Orleans was a vibrant majority black city. But when the levees broke, so did the city's demographic future. In the immediate aftermath, tens of thousands of black residents were displaced, and many never returned. The city's black population dropped from over 66% before Katrina to just under 60% by 2020, and that number continues to decline. Rebuilding efforts prioritized tourism, not neighborhoods. Bourbon Street bounced back, but the lower Ninth Ward? Still struggling. Many longtime residents found themselves priced out by rising property values, post-Katrina development deals, and a rental market that forgot who built the city's culture in the first place. Some moved to Houston, some to Atlanta, others just gave up on the Big Easy altogether. So when we celebrate New Orleans for its jazz, food, and festivals, we have to ask, who's really left to enjoy it? Number 4. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit's story is like a cautionary tale told in slow motion. A once thriving black metropolis, Motor City was a beacon of black homeownership, union jobs, and middle-class stability. But then came automation, factory closures, and mass unemployment, and with it, a sharp decline in population. From 2000 to 2020, Detroit's black population shrank by over 185,000. That's not just decline, that's devastation. The foreclosure crisis hit Detroit's black homeowners especially hard. Whole blocks were abandoned. Schools closed. Public services collapsed. And while downtown is being revitalized, many longtime residents say they feel like outsiders in their own city. White newcomers move into gentrified pockets while black families are left navigating a shrinking safety net. Number 3. Oakland, California. Oakland used to be one of the black cultural powerhouses of the West Coast, a city of activism, music, and black pride. But now? Oakland is becoming another chapter in the gentrification playbook. Between 2000 and 2020, the black population dropped by nearly 40%. That's not just demographic change, that's cultural erasure. Why are black folks leaving? Skyrocketing rent, housing shortages, and tech-driven displacement. The Silicon Valley spillover has turned Oakland into a real estate gold rush, and longtime residents are being squeezed out. Entire black neighborhoods are disappearing. People are moving east, to Antioch, Stockton, Sacramento, anywhere with lower rent and at least a shot at stability. Number 2. Chicago, Illinois. You might have seen the headlines, Black Exodus from Chicago. But this isn't just hype. Between 2000 and 2020, Chicago's black population declined by more than 300,000 people. That's more than a drop, that's a migration event. And it's not slowing down. The reasons? Take your pick. Economic disparity, gun violence, school closures, lack of investment in black neighborhoods, especially on the south and west sides. Entire communities have been gutted. The CHA's public housing demolition plans displaced thousands, many of whom never found permanent replacement homes. Schools in black neighborhoods were shut down while others were built elsewhere. And now, gentrification is creeping in, not to restore, but to replace. Number 1. Los Angeles, California. And finally, number 1, Los Angeles. You might think of palm trees and movie stars, but for black residents, LA has become a city of fading opportunity. Since 1990, LA's black population has been in free fall, and it's not hard to see why. The cost of living is brutal. Rent is astronomical. And gentrification? It's swallowing neighborhoods like South Central, Inglewood, and Leimert Park, one block at a time. Where do you go when your rent triples, and your job doesn't keep up? Many black residents are leaving California altogether, heading to Las Vegas, Phoenix, Atlanta, or Texas cities like Houston and Dallas. LA has become so unaffordable that even middle-income black families can't find stable footing. And here's the kicker. The city's development boom isn't for everyone. New stadiums, train lines, and condos rise up, but the people who built the cultural foundation of LA, from the Watts riots to West Coast hip-hop, are being quietly pushed out. It's not just about displacement, it's about erasure. These cities were once considered beacons for black opportunity, culture, and resilience. But now, many are becoming cautionary tales of gentrification, neglect, and systemic failure. If you value your peace, safety, and financial future, it may be time to rethink where you plant your roots. Let us know in the comments, which U.S. cities do you think are becoming more livable and welcoming for black families in 2025? And if you found this video insightful, hit that subscribe button, because we've got more truth-telling content coming your way.